Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome to a new live episode of our program, Viewers Pulse, here on Huda TV. Thank you so much for being with us here this evening. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this next hour an hour of His remembrance, an hour of seeking His forgiveness, and an hour of coming closer to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you, and thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Inshallah, in this next hour, we're going to be talking about Huda TV. We're going to be talking about the things that we do here behind the scenes, and we'll be taking your suggestions, inshallah, and your thoughts of how we can make things better here and how we can better serve you here at Huda TV. As all of you know, this is a free-to-air channel. This is a non-profit organization. We're not here to make any money. We're here only to serve the cause of Islam, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help all of us. And I hope that you will be one of the people that will help us do that by providing us with your feedback and your thoughts and suggestions, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let me begin, inshallah, by reminding you of our phone numbers. You can give us a call, inshallah, on the numbers that you will be seeing momentarily on your screen, inshallah. Give us a call, inshallah, at any time and share your thoughts with us in this program. We're here with you live for the next hour or so, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Email, of course, is another great way to stay in touch with us. Pulse@huda.tv. Pulse@huda.tv. Give us an email, inshallah. Shoot us an email, and we will respond to you. Respond to those emails personally, inshallah, or I forward them to the departments that you need to be in contact with regarding your question, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Our Facebook page is the best way to stay in touch with us, facebook.com/hudatv, facebook.com/hudatv. And I believe, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, we have about 155,000 people on our Facebook page. If you're not one of them, you need to be. Here's our Facebook page. You can see it live with you right now. About 155,000 people are on it, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase it so that we can increase goodness, inshallah. You get the latest updates about our programming on our Facebook page. You also get a lot of Islamic reminders, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Our Twitter account has been recently activated, and that is twitter.com/hudatv channel, twitter.com/hudatv channel. Join us, inshallah, on Twitter, and you'll be able to get our latest updates, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, through there. I believe it is linked to our Facebook page, so if you're on one, inshallah, that would do, but try to be on both if you use both, inshallah. And at the same time, maybe very soon, inshallah, we'll have separate Twitter updates, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And obviously, the best way to stay in touch with the television channel would be through its YouTube page, youtube.com/hudatv, youtube.com/hudatv. That is our official YouTube page. You can do a lot of things on there. You can watch our latest programming, which, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, is posted there daily, maybe a few hours after each of our main programs are aired, or is aired, inshallah. You can go ahead and watch our programming through there also, inshallah. Of course, you can watch our live streaming. Live streaming for Huda TV is also available through youtube.com/hudatv. As you can see right there, we are with you live, not through the camera, but through our web streaming, as you can see right there. Inshallah, from anywhere around the world, you can always watch Huda TV. And of course, also, there's another great advantage to having Huda TV on YouTube. You can watch some of our older programming in case you're interested in some of the programs that we have aired in the past 8 years or so. You can find many of them on YouTube, on our official YouTube page, youtube.com/hudatv. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and share it with all those that you know, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We'll go ahead, inshallah, and begin with our reports for the evening. Our first report, my dear brothers and sisters, is a question that we asked you on Facebook. Of course, your feedback and the feedback mechanism that we have here at Huda TV is very, very important. It is pivotal to our success here at Huda TV. And the question that we asked you on Facebook, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all those who participated, is regarding our Hajj coverage. Our Hajj coverage for the year 1434, which ended about a week ago or so. We asked you what you thought about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of your responses.
Fawaz Sobani. Amazing. Huda TV is a light in every home. Nazima Tahir. Many thanks to Huda TV for the excellent coverage. Huda TV is a blessing for all the Muslims throughout the world. We could not help but cry at the overwhelming sight of Hajjis and pray to Allah to grant us also a chance to be there. We have definitely done some good to deserve Huda TV to be in our house. Oh Allah, bless everyone at Huda TV. Shurayu Musallama. Oh Allah, forgive our sins and let us be under your special shade on the Day of Judgment. It reminds me of the Day of Qiyamah. Farahans Rashid. Excellent. I felt as if I'm there too. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Muhammad Uthman. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless Huda channel and its sheikhs. Huda has helped me and my family a lot on many aspects of Islam. We watch it here from Nigeria and we enjoy it. Ali Abdul Qadir. Very interesting, educational, and excellent. Ahmed Mahmoud. It increases my hope and wishes for Allah's mercy. Jazakumullahu khairan. Abu Bakr Sangyang. Alhamdulillah, we are extremely happy about the live coverage. I personally enjoy watching it in my house. MashaAllah, God bless Huda TV. Salu Mustafa. It's the only Islamic channel that gives me pleasure.
Thank you, my dear brothers and sisters, so much for joining us on our Facebook page and for sharing your comments with us about our Hajj coverage. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make every single year's coverage better than the year before. Inshallah, we're approaching a new Islamic year, and I have some special news for you. Coming up, inshallah, next Monday night, we're going to have a special coverage talking about the new Islamic year, inshallah, the year 1435, and that will be approximately at 10:30 p.m. Mecca time, inshallah. Next Monday at 10:30 p.m. Mecca time, we will begin our live coverage, and inshallah it's going to last for about an hour and a half. So from 10:30 p.m. Mecca time till midnight Mecca time, inshallah, on Monday next week, we will be talking about the new Islamic year, because it will be the new Islamic year by then, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this next year, inshallah, a year of great achievements for the Muslim Ummah and greatness for the Muslim Ummah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We always have hope in the future, no matter how bad situations are. We always have hope, inshallah, in the future, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We'll take a short break, inshallah. When we come back, inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we're going to recap some of our Hajj coverage. This time not from our studios, but when we had live programming live from Mina. We'll talk about that after we come back from a break, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You're not giving it to him because he has black eyes or blue eyes. You're giving it to him because of his position. And that is why you're giving it to this particular department's head rather than giving it to the HR GM, for example. Nobody gives the HR GM anything because they don't want anything from him until they want a job. Therefore, this is the way you can judge whether it's a bribe or not. To get into a halal transaction, first of all, the bank or the financial institution should acquire and own this apartment before any commitment.
Welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, Omar Shear. This season of Tech Talk, we will focus specifically on the internet.
A student would type their paper, and instead of handing me a hard copy of their paper, they would upload it to this learning system, this e-learning system.
I have some great experience when it comes to technology, and in particular, internet technology. Call to action is something that we do in our day-to-day lives, and maybe we don't realize it. Now we want to discuss, after you have a product and you have a website and you have a way to communicate with your customers, which would be your email marketing system, now it's time to take the money from the customer.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for being with us here this evening and for continuing to be with us here on Huda TV, inshallah. In this segment, inshallah, we're going to be reviewing and recapping some of our coverage from Mina that we did live this past Hajj, inshallah, season. And inshallah, hopefully it will be very useful. The first report that we're preparing for you right now is a report from the 7th day of Dhul Hijjah. It was the first night that we went live from Mina. It was really the night before the Hujjaj started their Hajj, because as we know, the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah is really when Hajj begins. So this report and this live coverage was on the 7th of Dhul Hijjah. And in a very emotional clip that you're going to be seeing right now, Sheikh Muhammad Salah is there live with Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd and Sheikh Muhammad Faqih. And all of a sudden he breaks down in tears and he cries. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, inshallah.
This is an Alt-Shift delete. Literally a complete erasing of the previous sins. May Allah grant us this honor.
Ameen, ameen.
This is really amazing. How much would it take? How much would you be willing to pay to gain forgiveness for some sins? What about deleting all your entire sins of the past? And keep in mind, no one shall enter paradise without getting this level first, which is erasing sins. You read in Surah Al-Imran and in Surah Al-Hadid and many places. The order is as follows. وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ. Surah Al-Hadid, سَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ. Number one is forgiveness in order to be eligible to enter paradise. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, none of you shall enter paradise simply because of their good actions or good deeds. They said, even you, O Prophet of Allah? They said, even me, unless if Allah covers me with His mercy. So that is the day why you should feel very passionate about it and anticipate it with excitement. Because also, guess what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treats the person who has doubt in that, He will deprive him from this forgiveness. If any person tomorrow assumes that he will not be eligible for forgiveness, or it's too much for Allah to forgive him, he will not be forgiven.
This is a statement actually that I read for Sufyan al-Thawri, exactly what you said, Sheikh.
Which is another emphasis.
Yes.
Tomorrow you're going with a full hope. قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم
لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. Tell my servants who transgress, never despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never despair. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins.
Definitely a lot of emotions there when you are in Hajj and you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted you this special, it really is a special privilege for anyone who's at Hajj and someone who's there. It is really an invitation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So alhamdulillah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant all of us this invitation to be over there at Hajj at least once in our lifetime, and we hope for it to be soon, inshallah, sooner than later, because we never know how long we're going to live, inshallah. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, coming up next we have another report for you, and this report is talking about Prophet Ibrahim, the story of Prophet Ibrahim and Hajar alayhi salam. As you know, these two people, mashallah, are people who, mashallah, did a lot of great things for Islam, and really Prophet Ibrahim is really, known as the father of all prophets, because he's the one who made the dua that that this land becomes a land where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is worshipped, and people come to it from all different parts of the world. And this is what happened, and this is what continues to happen more than 1,400 years later, when our Muslims, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, are there and are performing Hajj. Let's go ahead, inshallah, and take a look at this report. I believe this was from the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, also from Mina Live, and here's Sheikh Muhammad Salah talking about the story of Prophet Ibrahim and Hajar.
The Quran in Surah Al-Saffat tells us that obviously Prophet Ismail was born earlier, and this whole story erupted or evolved simply because after Hajar gave birth to Ismail, and for a reason or another, whether Sarah was jealous of Hajar or whatever, there was a divine command to take Hajar and her baby, who was still being breastfed, to the middle of nowhere, Mecca, plain desert, scary mountains, no life whatsoever. And this is where it started. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the water of Zamzam to gush forth from beneath his foot. Then the birds started circulating around. A tribe named Jurhum, they saw the birds, they recognized there must be life. They came around and they sought permission from Hajar to hang around, and she allowed them. Ismail grew up amongst them, and he learned the Arabic language, okay? And he got married from them. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam came to visit him. He wasn't there. All of that, we're talking about a prophet who is tested repeatedly, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ. He passed all the tests successfully. And afterward, one of those tests, as we were just discussing, when he was tested, Ibrahim was approximately 86 years old. Then all of a sudden he received his first baby. Imagine if a couple have been married and trying to conceive, the wife trying to conceive for a couple years, they go crazy. And they start visiting doctors and spending a lot of money. Why? They think that they're infertile and they're not going to have a baby. Ibrahim was already past 80 years old. And now he received his first baby. Spending much of time with him, loving him so much. Allah tested him in something that he loved so much, not more than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The test, anyone could not stand. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was very affordable, because his love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala outweigh any love. So when he took them to Mecca, and you know that Hajar alayhi salam asked Ibrahim, are you leaving us here alone? And wallahi, Sheikh Kareem, whenever we perform sa'i, whenever we come here, we should definitely reflect every time. If you're tired, if you have blisters in your feet, if you're worn out, remember you're walking on marble. Remember that Zamzam water is to your right and to your left-hand side. It's air conditioned. And furthermore, one thing that we complain of, Hajar was missing so much, the company.
Allahu Akbar.
We complain of, oh, it's crowded. Hajar alayhi salam, she would have loved to see some human beings.
Well, وَجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي.
It's all the acceptance of the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam.
It's one thing to be in the studio covering Hajj, and it's a totally different experience being in Mina or being, where the Hujjaj actually are. And you can feel the emotion in their speech. And many times it's because what they're doing is something that is absolutely great. and they're able to improve on the situation and the coverage of Huda TV by being actually at the place of coverage. So inshallah, we have one last report for you, inshallah, from Mina, and I believe this was it was either on the 11th or the 12th of Dhul Hijjah. And in this report, Sheikh Kareem was talking about, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid was talking about trustworthiness, the concept of trustworthiness, especially when it relates to Hajj. Let's go ahead and take a look, inshallah.
Something very interesting happened today. While I was addressing my group, Hajjis, some brother actually interrupted my lecture. And very interesting, what happened is he found slippers, pair of slippers, and he wanted to make sure they look like his. He's from a different camp, but he happened to leave his pair of slippers there, but he found his pair of slippers hanging in our own camp. He recognized them to be his slippers. It seems like one of our Haji mistakenly took his pair of slippers. So he brings those pair of slippers and he interrupts my lecture and say, Sheikh, please, I am certain that those are mine, but I just want to make sure that I'm not taking anybody else's pair of slipper. Can you please make an announcement if this is anybody else's before? So something about the Hujjaj here is the trustworthiness, or the being trustworthy. And another, I know you want to tell me some of these stories that you have. I was sitting in the Haram at one stage, and I saw somebody picking up something from the Haram. He picked it up, something, I think a couple of riyals, picked it up, and immediately he dropped it. He left it in the ground because he realized that's not mine, I should not be picking this up.
Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters. That was our last report from Mina. Inshallah, if you guys can close the earpiece, I'd appreciate it. Jazakumullah khairan. Here at Huda TV, my dear brothers and sisters, we try our best, inshallah, every single time that we have an Islamic event to cover it, especially if it's something that is global and affects all the Muslims from all around the world. And of course, Hajj has to be one of the most important yearly events that we cover here at Huda TV. I want you, inshallah, to give us a call. The phone numbers should be on your screen right now, and share your thoughts with us about our Hajj coverage. What did you think of our Hajj coverage this past year? Were you one of the people who watched it? Give us a call, inshallah, and share your thoughts with us. Also, if you have any questions in general about Huda TV and our live coverage, and give us a call at any time, inshallah. Or if you would like to see a special program that has aired before on Huda TV and you'd like to see it air again so that you can catch the episodes that you missed, do give us a call. If you have a favorite presenter on Huda TV, someone who presents a program, and you haven't seen that person in a while on Huda TV, give us a call and tell us who it is so that we can get in contact with them and ask them to come back here on Huda TV and share something with us and make a program for Huda TV, inshallah. Also, my dear brothers and sisters, as I told you before, and I would like to remind you, we are working on an application for Huda TV for smartphones and for tablets and these types of computer devices that are portable. So inshallah, we're working on getting a Huda TV app. Give us a call and share with us what you would like to see as part of this app. If you're able to help us also in this process, because it's not something that's easy. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and definitely a lot of money. But definitely, inshallah, it will be of great service and of great help to the Muslim community, inshallah. And it will make Huda TV more accessible, especially that a lot of people now have smartphones, and just logging on to a website or to YouTube may be a hassle for some people. So you just want to have a one-click option in order to get to Huda TV. What do you think you'd like to see on there? Definitely for me, I would like to see Huda TV live. Just through one click on a smartphone, I'll be able to view Huda TV live. That would be, in my opinion, the most important thing. Also, I guess I would like to see, for example, some of the latest programs, links to some of the latest programs there also, inshallah. We'll take a short break, inshallah. When we come back, we'll recap some of our programming from this past week and also take some of your calls. Give us a call, inshallah. I'll be waiting for your calls, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, after this short break.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You're not giving it to him because he has black eyes or blue eyes. You're giving it to him because of his position. And that is why you're giving it to this particular department's head rather than giving it to the HR GM, for example. Nobody gives the HR GM anything because they don't want anything from him until they want a job. Therefore, this is the way you can judge whether it's a bribe or not. To get into a halal transaction, first of all, the bank or the financial institution should acquire and own this apartment before any commitment.
Welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, Omar Shear. This season of Tech Talk, we will focus specifically on the internet.
A student would type their paper, and instead of handing me a hard copy of their paper, they would upload it to this learning system, this e-learning system.
I have some great experience when it comes to technology, and in particular, internet technology. Call to action is something that we do in our day-to-day lives, and maybe we don't realize it. Now we want to discuss, after you have a product and you have a website and you have a way to communicate with your customers, which would be your email marketing system, now it's time to take the money from the customer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome back to our last segment this evening here on Viewers Pulse. Let me begin by reminding you of our contact information so that you can stay in touch with us and stay in touch with Huda TV, get some of your questions answered, and anything else that's on your mind, share it with us, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Let me begin with our phone numbers. Our phone numbers are coming up on the screen. Feel free, inshallah, to give us a call. Let me tell you the number that I know. One of them is 002-0238-555-249. There's also another number that you see on your screen. Feel free, inshallah, at any time right now to give us a call. Before the break, I asked you to share with us your thoughts about our Hajj coverage for this past Hajj season. What did you think about it? Also, if you were in Hajj this year and you'd like to share some of your experiences, give us a call and share your thoughts with us. Tell us how it was and get us all excited about planning for Hajj so that we can go soon. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Let me remind you of our email also. It's another great way to stay in touch with us, and I do answer your emails personally, or I forward them to different departments that are, that can handle your situation and your questions. Pulse@huda.tv is our email. Our Facebook page, facebook.com/HudaTV. Facebook.com/HudaTV is another great way to stay in touch with us. And our Twitter account, which is also linked to our Facebook page, it's twitter.com/HudaTV channel. Twitter.com/HudaTV channel. And of course, like I always say, the number one way to stay in touch with the television station nowadays is through its YouTube page. So youtube.com/HudaTV is the way to stay in touch with Huda TV. You'll find a lot of great things on there. Most importantly, I believe, is the ability to watch Huda TV live 24 hours a day from any part of the world. As long as you have an internet connection, you can watch Huda TV live, and the quality on there is pretty good for online streaming. And alhamdulillah, since it's an online streaming process through YouTube, more often than not, alhamdulillah, we don't have delays, and as long as you have a solid internet connection, you should be able to watch it with very little buffering, if any, at all. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I really do believe that there's a huge future for television stations on the internet, and any successful television station and any channel that wants to work in da'wah definitely has to invest a lot in its infrastructure when it comes to online programming. As you can see right there, we are with you live, not through our camera, but through our YouTube page. This is how you can watch us online live, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. All right, inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, let's go ahead and begin recapping our top programs for this past week. We've chosen about 3 programs for you to go ahead and cover, inshallah. Let's go ahead and begin with our program Family Issues, which is now, alhamdulillah, hosted by our dear brother Malik Evangelatos. I wish him a lot of great success in this program, inshallah. And in this episode, him and his guest are talking about making friends. How do you make friends? Let's go ahead and take a look.
Welcome to another episode of Family Issues. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all of our Huda TV, not viewers, but family all around the world. What does friend mean? What does the word friend mean in our culture, perhaps coming from the States? What do we mean when we say this person's my friend?
People who you
Yeah.
like that tight circle, you trust them, you talk to them, you get advice from them, right? You're in the same kind of circles, be it a learning circle or a social circle with them.
What should we look at as practicing Muslims? Alhamdulillah, we consider ourselves practicing Muslims. So what should the criteria be for a good friend?
We have to have the manners, the akhlaq.
Yeah, of course.
We have to have the mannerisms. So somebody with a good mannerism and someone who you can trust and who's a good person. And it's beautiful. They, the brothers get together and the sisters, they get together and they comfort each other. Like if it's one sister in hijab all by herself walking in the street, then it's like, okay, she feels more comfortable when it's her and her friends, all 5 of them are walking to class, or they feel, in a comfort zone. So we help each other, the friends. When I'm messing up, he helps me. When he's messing up, I say, hey. Or we encourage each other to do good things,
How important is it to choose your friend? Don't let your friend choose you. I mean, be aware of the friend you're choosing, the people that you choose to put in your life. How important is that?
Choosing good friends is so important in Islam, You want to be around people who are doing the right thing. If all of your friends are going to make salat, and it's time for salat, you're not going to just sit there. You're going to go make salat with them, even though, like I said, I didn't, I was like on making salat on time, but they were. I'm going to do.
The human being is on the deen of his friend.
Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for being with us here and continuing to be with us as we recap our programming for this past week, inshallah. Family Issues, that was our program, and the episode was about friends. Next up, inshallah, is one of our most watched programs here on Huda TV, which is Ask Huda, of course. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It is now back live with Sheikh Muhammad Salah after he came back from Hajj. So obviously a lot of us are very excited about Ask Huda because we get to call in and to ask questions about some of the most important issues that we deal with in our lives. Let's go ahead and inshallah at this report from Ask Huda, inshallah. But before we do that, let me go ahead and remind you of the airing times for Family Issues, the program that we just watched. It airs live from 5 to 6 p.m. on Mondays. 5 to 6 p.m. on Mondays. It's kind of like one of our afternoon live programs. Maybe you've just come in from work, or maybe you're still at work or something and you're watching it, inshallah. In case you do miss it, there's a repeat for it on the next day at 12 p.m. Mecca time. 12 p.m. Mecca time. You can watch the rerun of Family Issues, inshallah. Let's go ahead and take a look at this report about last week's episode of Ask Huda, in case you missed it.
Dear viewers all over the world, Assalamu alaikum once again, and welcome to another live edition of your program ask Huda after the blessed Hajj journey and Eid al-Adha. May Allah accept from all of us. What if a person is in Hajj and he can't find an animal to sacrifice? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَمَنْ لَمْ يَجِدْ فَصِيَامُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ فِي الْحَجِّ. Then the alternative is to fast 10 days altogether. 3 days while you're performing Hajj, before or after the day of Arafah, but with the exception of the Eid day, of course, because it's haram to fast on the Eid day. Then 7 days when you return home. This is due upon a person who's performing Umrah and Hajj if he's not a resident of Mecca. If he can afford the Hajj, fine. If he can't, then the alternative is to fast the 10 days as explained earlier. It's haram to fast on the Eid day. But it's also prohibited, disliked, to fast on the day of Arafah for the pilgrims. And it's highly recommended for those who are not performing Hajj to fast on the day of Arafah, which is the 9th day. It expiates the sins of 2 years, the past year and a year to come. The woman, the believing woman, have to keep in mind that when she goes out, she should be, as the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلْيَخْرُجْنَا تَفِلَاتٍ, ordinary, not wearing any makeup. And you can postpone this until you return home, inshallah. Can I fast the previous 8 days because I am performing Hajj? Yes, you can. And it is actually one of the great deeds that you can do while performing Hajj. People think family is not only individuals. That if the child or if the daughter happen to have an illicit relationship, they say, okay, let's fix it. How to fix it? Let's get them married. So they think that by getting married that will fix the problem. Of course not. We cannot build a lawful relationship, which is marriage, on an unlawful relationship, which is adultery.
That was a recap of our programming Ask Huda that aired this past week, and it was live, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us and to make it of benefit for all of us, inshallah, and to grant Sheikh Muhammad Salah the health, inshallah, to continue, the knowledge and the health, inshallah, to continue this program. Ask Huda, my dear brothers and sisters, airs every Sunday and Tuesday. It airs twice a week, and it airs from 9 p.m. Mecca time to 10 p.m. Mecca time. And then it re-airs the next day at 1 p.m. So for example, if it aired on Sunday night, it would re-air on Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. And then there's a second rerun for those of you who are in different time zones at 2 a.m. the day after the next day. So on the third day, for example. So let's say it aired on Sunday originally, Sunday night, then it re-airs on Monday, and then it airs on at 1 a.m. On Tuesday. So we try, especially for our top programs, to have at least 2 re-airings of the original live program, so that all of us, no matter where we live around the world, we're able to watch the program, inshallah. If you have any questions or suggestions on how to make Ask Huda even better than it is, give us a call. We had someone who called us last week and said that we should have something on the screen that says, please mute your television when you're calling. Not only should the Sheikh say it, but we should have a text somewhere on it, inshallah. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our final report for this evening. This is a recap of our program, Correct Your Recitation, where you can give us a call on that program and have your recitation corrected by Sheikh Muhammad Salah and some of the other shuyukh, and you can listen into beautiful recitations from the people that are in the studio. Let's go ahead and take a look at last Thursday's episode of Correct Your Recitation.
Dear viewers everywhere, welcome to a new edition of Correct Your Recitation.
إن هي إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن يتبعون إلا الظن وما تهوى الأنفس الشمس ولقد جاءهم من ربهم الهدى.
مبلغهم means what they could reach, their attainment. So the pronoun hum refers to them, their attainment, what they could reach. إن هي إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم. They are but names which you have named, you and your forefathers, for which Allah has sent down no authority. They follow but a guess, and that which they themselves desire, whereas there has surely come to them the guidance from their Lord. Allah did not leave us alone without guidance, did not let us figure out or guess on our own what is right and what is wrong. Or otherwise, if we're 5 people in one room without guidance, without knowing who is Allah and what does Allah want from us, each one of us would have a different guess, so we'll have 5 guesses. They're all just guesses. But indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have sent the messengers and revealed the books. وَإِن مِّنْ أُمَّةٍ إِلَّا خَلَى فِيهَا نَذِيرٌ. There is not a single nation, but there has been a nadhir, a warner, a messenger from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who have been sent to them. فَلِلَّهِ الْآخِرَةُ وَالْأُولَى. Indeed belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the last, which is the hereafter, and the first, al-ula, which is the life of this world.
My dear brothers and sisters, that was a recap of our program, Correct Your Recitation, which inshallah airs every Thursday. MashaAllah, I like this new sheikh who's on here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. He has a very beautiful voice. I hope that all of you are enjoying his voice as well, inshallah, and that it's a way of making our hearts soft. There are many things that we go through on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, that make our hearts very hard, and we need to soften our hearts. And one of the ways to do that is through listening to the Quran, listening to the recitation of the Quran, and that is, mashallah, a beautiful way to learn reciting the Quran and at the same time enjoy the recitation of people who, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed, and He gave them the opportunity to become people who, alhamdulillah, are able to recite the Quran in a very beautiful and in a correct way. At the end of the episode, I want to remind you of the special coverage that we have next week. Next week, inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we have some very special coverage for you on the day of the new Islamic year, inshallah, which is going to be the year 1435. The year 1435 after Hijrah, inshallah, it's going to be coming up, inshallah, next Monday. Let me also remind you of the airing times for the program that we're just talking about, Correct Your Recitation. It airs, as we said, my dear brothers and sisters, every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. Mecca time. It re-airs the next day at 1 p.m. and then it re-airs the day after that on at 2 a.m. inshallah. So basically it airs on Thursday night from 9 to 10 p.m. and then it re-airs at 1 p.m. on Friday afternoons, and then it re-airs again for the second time at 2 a.m. on Saturday after midnight on Friday, early Saturday at 2 a.m. inshallah. So inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, if you haven't been watching some of our programming, or if you're new to Huda TV, feel free inshallah to join us on some of our top programs. Most of our live programs, our new programs, air almost daily, if not all days of the week, at 9 p.m. Mecca time. So that is really our prime time opportunity, and your opportunity, inshallah, to watch new programming. Throughout the day, you'll find different types of programs. Some of them are old, some of them have just aired this past Ramadan, and we're re-airing them for the first time. Obviously, this is a 24-hour channel, and our budget does not allow us all the time to produce new programming every single day. But we try to at least have 1 or 2 hours every day where we have new programming for you, inshallah, so that we always have something new, and we always remind ourselves of the many things that we need to be reminded of in order to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do stay in touch with us, my dear brothers and sisters, throughout the week. Let me begin by reminding you of one of the best ways to stay in touch with us, which is our email, pulse@huda.tv, pulse@huda.tv. Send us an email there anytime, inshallah. I try to check those personally as much as I can, and either I answer you if I know the answer, or I forward it to the appropriate department. Our Facebook page is, again, another great way to stay in touch with us and to receive some of our latest updates, facebook.com/HudaTV, facebook.com/HudaTV. Our Twitter account, twitter.com/HudaTV channel, twitter.com/HudaTV channel. It wasn't active for a while, but alhamdulillah, now it's back up and it's active. Go ahead and join us there, and inshallah, we'll have some great updates for you, inshallah. And of course, I always remind you of our YouTube page, youtube.com/HudaTV, which is really the best way to benefit from Huda TV. You can watch us there live 24 hours a day from any single part of the globe. As long as you have internet, you can watch Huda TV live through our online live streaming, which operates through YouTube, inshallah. I really would like to see our YouTube channel get a little bit bigger. I believe we have about 5,000 subscribers. That's not really too much for a television channel as big as Huda TV. And inshallah, I want you guys to go ahead and log on to our YouTube page and to join us there, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. It looks like we don't have any phone calls this evening, so I'll take this time to thank all of you for joining us here this evening. See you again next week, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, at 9 p.m. Mecca time. Jazakumullah khairan. Have a good evening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your